Last year, for my second ever video on this channel, we did my picks for the best Cartwright loves to celebrate the month of love. This year, we're going to do the opposite. For this year's February video, let's talk about the worst women ever paired with our four main guys. I guess if you're committed enough a fangirl, you might say that any girl put with your favorite Cartwright was the worst, and I won't judge you for that. Then again, there are some that are worse than others. There were ones who made us want to do some physical damage for what they did to our guys. As always, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Number 1. Ben and Joyce Edwards. Now, Ben having feelings for this woman isn't really the problem for me, and I will put that out there first. It's easy to understand that feelings are not rational. The thing is, though, that Ben being willing to pursue those feelings with a married woman is totally out of character for him. If one of his boys were in love with a married woman, he would counsel them that there's nothing to be gained and that they should back off. I can also see why Joyce enjoyed being treated decent by Ben when she wasn't being treated decent at home. But I don't really think that she loved him so much as she appreciated the support and leaned on him a bit. I don't know if it's just me projecting my own feelings onto Adam here too, but I think he felt the same way when Ben asked him if he would support them getting together. His answer is that if it were possible, she couldn't do any better than his pa. That's him saying his pa is a good match. That's not him saying that the relationship is a good idea. He also probably doesn't feel like he can say anything against it because it's his pa's life and not his. If he thought he could, he probably would have had a lot more to say, and I think it would have been a little bit interesting to hear it too. That starting line of, if it were ever possible, speaks volumes to me. It's not possible. It's the bottom line. She's married, and it would never work out. Another thing that surprises me about Ben so openly having feelings for this woman is the guilt he feels over her husband Tom's accident. I think having feelings for Tom's wife just puts too much into it. I love the episode overall, just not how out of character it makes Ben look. Number 2. Haas and Reagan Miller. I feel like I need to point out that she did not make this list nor her spot on my Halloween list last year simply because she did what she did back in San Francisco. My reason for including her, and I assume the reason why most fans feel such animosity toward her, is because she's willing to divide the family in order to get what she wants. She does not seem to want the ranch or Haas's money. She wants Haas himself, which would have been great if she weren't willing to lie her way into it. Again, I'll talk more about this in the review for the episode, but I do believe that she did love Haas. Now bear with me here. It's not the kind of love that is unselfish and it does not put others first. It's a very selfish love. She loves Haas, and because she loves him, she has to have all of him, and she stomps on anything and anyone that stands in her way. This puts her in direct opposition and conflict with Adam, who does not think that she will be able to love Haas long term. Her response is not to look inward or to be honest with Haas when she has the chance. Rather, she goes out of her way to push Haas and Adam apart and continue to lie. She uses what she knows, thinking that she can seduce Adam into keeping her secret, and when that doesn't work, she lies to Haas about Adam's intentions, almost seemingly to imply that Adam forced himself on her. Haas, of course, wants to see the good in her, and she's able to twist the knife until Ben gets involved. Go Pa! She isn't the only one to manipulate Haas's good nature over the course of the show, but she is the worst, if only because she tries to take him away from his family, who might hold her responsible and make her be honest with the man she intends to marry. Gee, what a concept. Number 3. Adam and Laura Dayton. This one is probably what every Adam gal would choose, so it may be a bit of low-hanging fruit, but what can I say? I like to keep things simple. I find it interesting that the only Adam romance that gets several episodes worth of screen time is the one that seems to have zero chemistry. I could have forgiven the fact that she gives him such a fight in the very first episode she's in, if she had just had any character growth, or if their romance had been given any real progression over time. But these two can't be in the same room together without getting into an argument. They're more believable as divorced parents than they are two people falling in love with each other. Even when he proposes, she thinks that he's just doing it out of obligation. Now, to be fair, if that's what is really going on, I don't blame her for calling it out. That being said, 2 episode appearances earlier, she began the episode ticked off because he won't propose. Bottom line with these two, I think, is that the one he actually had the chemistry with is Peggy, in a father-daughter way, and not her mother Laura, in a lover or married partner way. The trouble is that, again, the writers are trying really hard to make us think that it's the other way around, and they devote truckloads of screen time to them, which only serves to show us, the viewers, what a miserable couple they are, and that is just not fun to watch. I do think Adam loved her. I just can't figure out why. And number 4, Joe and Connie McKee. I have to say up front that deciding on which girl was going to go in the Joe part of this video was very difficult for me. I mean, there were a lot of them. I mean, if maybe one day I'll do a video counting just how many love interests Joe had. Although some of you Joe gals might kill me for that. But I'm just now thinking it, and I think I might do that. And I freely admit that some of you might be able to change my mind when you tell me in the comments who you would have added in this video instead. I've actually been getting a lot of votes for Tirza, which I totally get, and it was a close call. This could very well be because I don't really like Connie McKee's character, but I really can't find the chemistry between these two beyond the fact that girl pretty and Joe like girl. The first time they see each other, when Connie comes back in town from school and Ben throws her a party, they mention that Joe and Connie fought before she left for college, and they pick it up again right when she comes back. Connie plays hard to get, and Joe seems to like the chase. Okay, he's young, I get it. That being said, he wants to propose after a couple of meetings in which he chases after her, and she only warms up to him after he gives her a horsey. Now, I know he's done that before. He wanted to marry Amy Bishop within 5 minutes, but they didn't argue and fight every time they saw each other. That's the difference. Part of my dislike for Connie is that she seems holier than thou and whiny every time she speaks. I think if they had been played as just friends, it might have made the dynamic a little better than trying to make them love interests. They were the B story to a much better A story in this episode. He talked about trying to court Dolly Kincaid, even though they had zero chemistry, but you don't find him falling in love with her. I think I would have been okay with it if they'd flirted a little, but the desire to marry her right off the cuff just didn't land with me. You were fighting a second ago, dude. Give me 5 reasons why you want to marry her. Go on. I'll wait. Well, there you go. I really want to know what you think. Who are your choices? Did any of mine influence or change any of yours? And yes, if you still hate all of them and would rather your Cartwright was with you, that's totally valid. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go spend my Valentine's Day nibbling on chocolate and watching Bonanza. Like an awesome person. Oh, like you have better plans. No, but for real, you probably do. I know. Feel free to share those plans down in the comments if you want. Happy Valentine's Day!